Is the ex-president facing legal trouble? It's no secret that former President Donald Trump has been facing a lot of legal repercussions since leaving office. Now, the latest news is that he will be facing a press play trial in the state of Georgia. Is this the final nail in the coffin for the former president? Or will he be able to find a way out of this latest situation? Keep watching today's video to find out. Hello and welcome to Prime Time TV. Before we begin, please subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to receive more amazing content. Parts of Georgia Grand Jury's Trump report released. Portions of a special grand jury report into whether then-President Donald Trump and his associates committed any crimes while attempting to reverse his 2020 election defeat in Georgia have been made public. On February 16, the report's introduction and conclusion, as well as a part in which the grand jurors voiced worry that certain witnesses may have lied under oath, were made public. But any recommendations on prospective criminal charges will be kept under wraps for the time being. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Robert McBurney, who presided over the special grand jury, ordered the partial release. During a hearing last month, prosecutors asked him not to disclose the findings until charges were decided, but a coalition of media organizations, including the Associated Press, argued that the complete report should be made public right away. In his order, Mr. McBurney stated that it is not appropriate to release the whole report at this time because it is critical to safeguard the due process rights of those for whom the grand jury recommended charges. Trump's 2020 loss in Georgia. The probe is one of several that may have major legal ramifications for the former president as he attempts to persuade voters to restore him to the White House in 2024. Over the course of approximately 7 months, the grand jury heard from 75 witnesses, among them Mr. Trump's friends, including former New York Mayor and Mr. Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, and U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina. Prominent Georgia officials, such as Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger and Governor Brian Kemp, also testified before the panel. Mr. Trump, who has repeatedly refused to recognize that Joe Biden won the November 2020 election, has looked particularly disturbed by his defeat in Georgia and what he regarded as a failure of Republican state-elected leaders to fight for him. Georgia tipped Mr. Biden by around 12,000 votes, giving him the first Democratic presidential contender to win there since 1992. Mr. Trump and his followers have made unfounded charges of widespread voting fraud and have regularly insulted Mr. Raffensperger and Mr. Kemp for not trying to reverse his defeat. State and federal officials, including Mr. Trump's Attorney General, have consistently declared the election was secure, and there was no indication of widespread fraud. Trump will undergo a press play trial in Georgia. Glenn Kirshner, a political and legal analyst, believes former President Donald Trump is facing a press trial in Georgia, which he believes could be particularly damaging. Kirshner spent the majority of his legal career as a prosecutor for the United States Army and also worked in the United States Attorney's Office for Homicide. He has also become a frequent legal analyst for NBC News and MSNBC in recent years, as well as an outspoken critic of Trump and his associates. He appeared on the Dean Obeidallah Show, where he and host Dean Obeidallah discussed the latest developments in the case of Trump's alleged election rigging in Georgia. Since February 2021, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has been leading a criminal investigation into Trump's efforts to influence the state's election officials, including the infamous call in which he asked Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to find enough votes so he could nominate Joe Biden, which could overturn Biden's victory in Georgia. Kirshner repeated his earlier comments that he was optimistic about the investigation. He said that he thinks the former president will face a press trial in Georgia. This is a type of case that he had tried many times before and had evidence that led to an indictment. Also, a month after losing to Joe Biden in 2020, former President Donald Trump is seen in Georgia. According to legal analyst Glenn Kirshner, certain types of compelling evidence in the Georgia investigation into Trump will lead to an indictment. Given the nature of this report and the prosecutor, I think it's inevitable that the grand jury will indict Trump, Kirshner said. It remains to be seen what the outcome of Donald Trump's press play trial in Georgia will be. Questions remain as to how this will play out and what the implications may be. Regardless of the outcome, the press play trial in Georgia is sure to be a pivotal moment in American politics and could have far-reaching ramifications. What are your thoughts on today's video? Tell us in the comments. Also, if you liked the video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.